few months ago, Knott's Berry Farm, there was a rumor that came out of Knott's Berry Farm from Screamscape that Knott's was going to add a 225-foot style B&M Giga, and now, just today, as me recording this, plans were leaked, like a full layout we're talking about, of this potential Giga. When I first heard about this rumor back in October, I thought that it was a load of cap because there wasn't really anything supporting it, and obviously with Screamscape isn't 100% correct. But now, yeah, it's virtually confirmed that it's in the planning stages. If Knott's were to get a B&M style coaster again, it would be more than what I would have personally thought it would have been on the line to Mako at SeaWorld Orlando with an L-shaped layout. The plans do show this ride with an L-shaped layout, kind of like some other B&Ms like Canada's Wonderland's Leviathan and Fury 325 at Carowinds. But I thought if Knott's were going to go with the Hyper style roller coaster, it would be a B&M Hyper and not a Giga by B&M. I thought it would have been more on the lines of Mako, and it kind of is, but just scaled up. The layout style is basically the same with the L shape, but there are some differences, and today I'm going to be taking a look at some of this leaked plan of the second version of the layout. The first version, I don't know where to find it, but let's talk about this. So the height actually is going to be around Fury's height. Apparently it's going to be a few feet taller, probably around like 327 feet or like 330, or maybe even go a little higher. But one thing we know is it will have the largest drop on a B&M. It'll feature a drop around 347 feet, and that'll actually go under a tunnel under the parking lot. This will be taking up tons of space in the parking lot. Now with the leaked plans, as we can see, some parts of this lot are actually taken up, such as the toll booth area where you pay for parking is going to have to be relocated because that's where a part of the ride is. More than likely, they're going to rip up most of the parts of the parking lot that are going to be taken up. They're going to rip it up and replace it with grass. And if anything, it's not going to be that bad because they could probably just lay some more parking. I don't know how Knott's is. I've never been there. But honestly, I'm surprised that the amount of land is being used won't be as bad. As you can see right here, there's some little details. I think the date is there somewhere. I think the date was, this one was October, I think 21st. This layout was submitted. There was a different layout. It was more of a twister one that was submitted back in May. But that one I think fell through, and this is the second and hopefully final version of the layout. As you can tell, some parts of the layout are very similar to Fury at Carowinds, and there's some similar elements to maybe like Orion at Kings Island or some parts of like a B&M Hyper. As you can see here, that first turn after that first drop looks to be style on Fury 325's turnaround. And it looks like it goes into a turn into a massive camelback airtime hill. Like, when we're talking about massive camelback, I've already talking about like 150 footer, possibly 160 feet tall camelback. And it looks like it goes into a high bank turn into a massive turnaround, like figure 8 turnaround. It's kind of like the turnaround on Shambhala, it looks like, from PortAventura. I'm not that sure how tall it is, but honestly, it looks great. I thought if they were going to include a turnaround, when they included the turnaround, you would think it would be more on the style of a B&M Hyper like Mako or Nitro with the hammerhead. But I gotta tell you one thing, Cedar Fair went all out on his Giga. And it is kind of true, this is the new Fury 325 of the West. This will be similar to Fury. I don't know about track length. Fury is the longest Giga, but I don't think Knott's will be going for longest. I think they're just going to go for probably the most insane one. And honestly, not the longest Giga doesn't have to be the best. The reason why Fury is considered the best Giga is because of its insane pacing, its insane elements, and just the overall enjoyable and the speed. It's intense. But I think Knott's will have a similar ride. Some people may consider Knott's as the best if it does go through, because just remember, this ride still has to actually make it through planning. But let's take a look at some of this. As you can see, the lift hill looks like some of the supports are going to have to go through some of these backstage buildings because of where it's being located. The station is where we thought it would have been over in the back of the park by those backstage area, and it looks like the lift hill will go right over, and the drop will go right into the parking lot area under the road. So it's going to be so the bottom of the drop is going to be underground. That's where we got that 347 foot drop from. And it's gonna be 20 feet taller really than the actual drop, than the actual lift hill. And then it goes into a turnaround over the parking lot, and then it goes, I think, a little bit over the parking lot road again into the airtime hill, which is where the parking tolls are. And then it hits that figure 8 looking turnaround. That looks like the turnaround taken from Shambhala. And then it looks like it does some other elements. It looks like it goes into a speed hill. It's basically going to be a mix between Fury 325 at Carowinds and Orion at Kings Island. So it looks like Cedar Fair is going to be taking both good things from both of these Gigas. either the speed from Fury and the insane elements of Fury and the amazing airtime hills of Orion. I mean, Orion looks to have some great airtime hills. So yeah, those are some of the elements of the tutorial feature. It looks like it'll also feature an overbank style turn, unless they want to change it to a helix like on Candemonium with the outer bank with the off-axis hill at the end. And then it looks like it goes into a pretty tall break run according to the leaked blueprints. Or no, they're not blueprints, but they're leaked plans. But yeah, overall, this looks to actually be a fairly good Giga Coaster. This looks to be maybe the best, maybe the second best. I'm not going to take it to a stretch and say it's going to be better than Fury. We'll have to wait till we see what the layout looks like. I know some people, maybe it will be better, but it definitely looks like the Fury 325 of the West Coast. If the plans do go through, this will be California and anything west of really the Northeast first ever Giga Coaster and first coaster, full circuit coaster over 300 feet. So tell me what you guys thought in the comments section down below. I'll be answering any comments on this. And make sure you guys tell me what you guys like about the video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe, and bye.